EDP445.
So the Sick Mind of EDP documentary just dropped in dog. What the did I just watch?
What the hell was in that EDP documentary?
This EDP documentary was one big fever dream, I'm not gonna lie.
The EDP445 documentary is genuinely one of the most disgusting things I've ever fucking watched.
How is this guy not locked up?
Throw him in prison.
For years, a former YouTuber named EDP445 told the world he was an innocent man. He claimed his actions were just a big misunderstanding. Because the police never arrested him, he thought his secret was safe. But recently, he chose to do a brand new interview with investigator Chris Hansen for a video project. During this talk, he casually admitted to everything on camera.
I know initially people were rightfully worried that this documentary wasn't going to be taking this serious enough, but I think it's very clear now, if you watch the full documentary, it is handling the very dark, depraved elements of this with, like, genuine care. And the whole thing aims to benefit victims of abuse through RAIN. All of the profits made from the documentary are going directly to RAIN, which is a charity for victims of sexual abuse and helping there. And so I think that's tremendous, and I really appreciate Mike Clum for doing that. And I really do think the documentary handles this very well. Like, yeah, there are obviously some very silly moments in there. Like, bringing Chris Hansen on is obviously a bit of a spectacle, but also, it has EDP opening up to him, and once again, confirming crimes and the intentions behind those crimes. Like, all of this, I feel, is very, I think, compelling evidence for why authorities should be looking into EDP.
What the hell was in that EDP documentary? I will never be the same. That was possibly the most disturbing hour and a half I've ever seen. It was oh my gosh. Literally every time I thought it was worse, it got even worse.
In April 2024, EDP444 was talking to somebody he honestly knew was a 13-year-old. Sophie, also he thought. The messages he sent were deeply inappropriate, and he specifically asked her to meet him in person. He then drove to a physical location to meet up with her. But the girl wasn't real. It was an online group pretending to be her to catch him. When they confronted him with camera, he panicked and made up a lie, saying he only walked there to pick up a cupcake. Even though the video went viral and he lost his YouTube channel, the police never arrested him. The internet group that caught him didn't follow the proper rules of law. They deleted part of the chat logs and used aggressive tricks to lure him out. Because the evidence was handled badly by amateurs, the local police couldn't use it to build a real case. Legally, the situation was over and he was saved from prison. Years later, filmmaker Mike Clum set up a brand new project and invited EDP to speak. He agreed to do it, but he wasn't there to apologize or try to fix his image. Instead, he seemed completely happy to talk about it.
EDP445. Throw him in prison. If you are not aware, a new YouTube documentary by Mike Clum, the same person who made the Boogie 2988 documentary, has recently dropped, and it is about EDP445. Specifically, it is titled The Sick Mind of EDP445, and I'm telling you about this for a few reasons. The first being that this sheds so much light on new information that we were not previously privy to that shows that this absolute monster should not be a free man. To be clear, he has never been under investigation. He has never been a part of the registry. He is completely free to this day. Number two, because of the sensitive nature of this documentary, YouTube has not been pushing it out for recommendations. It is currently sitting at about 300,000 views. And the more people that view it, in my opinion, the better chance that this documentary has of opening up possibilities for an actual investigation to take place so that this nightmare person can be taken off of the streets. Additionally, if you have any concerns, all the profits and revenues made from this documentary will go towards victims of the crimes that are detailed in the actual video. I don't want to say them, it's kid stuff, you understand what that means. So even if there is anyone out there that views this documentary and feels that it's tacky or exploitative, I understand completely, but do know that at least two things are going for it. The profits are going to people who deserve it and need it, and it might actually result in some good. It couldn't get this person out of the public. I cannot emphasize enough not only how well made and thorough the documentary is, but also how extremely negatively it paints EDP445, a person who I already, for many reasons, didn't care for, but now can confidently say is genuinely horrific.
So the Sick Mind of EDP documentary just dropped in dog. What the fuck did I just watch? For the last 2 years, EDP's life has been getting documented after he tried to link up with a couple minors. And this nigga is worse than anything we could have ever imagined. This shit started off with a crazy lore drop with him creating his persona because he was addicted to corn and 445 pounds. Giving us insight into his villain backstory because he always loved the bad guys because they always did fucked up and foul shit. Then we get into the nitty gritty of him saying every nigga wants to crack 15-year-olds. I don't know who the fuck he's talking about because he's not talking about me or my niggas. Then he said he wanted to crack these minors because he wanted to take take away their innocence, and how he would go in a woman's bathroom in Walgreens just because. This shit was so bad they had to get Chris Hansen himself to come interview. They talk about the whole Alex Rose and cupcake incident, and I really couldn't care less because it really fucked cuz. But if Alex didn't fuck up the whole cupcake situation, EDP will be behind bars right now. Because you would think after he got caught with a 13-year-old, he would have learned his lesson, but no, he started all over again with a 15-year-old and outdid himself way worse. Nigga told her he would fly her out for her 16th birthday for some birthday cracking. Sent her videos of him gooning, which I really didn't need a visual for it because that shit was just crazy. And also to the nigga that played young EDP, I hope you got a fucking bag because the shit they showed of you to convey this message was nasty work. But anyways, Kayla, I was of course on your side at first, but once you start lying about shit that didn't need to get lied about, you completely lost me. How are you going to say everything was misconstrued because you was actually a victim of Gideon and not really EDP? And even said Gideon was making you do shit you didn't want to do, and whole time they had recorders of him saying and doing the complete opposite. Then you said you had evidence of all this shit but didn't want to release it because you scared that you're going to get attacked by Gideon's fans. But whole time you about to get attacked right now for fucking lying. But the whole segment with EDP with a literal child in his room was weird as fuck. With someone admitting to having such vile thoughts and temptations around children, why would you put a child in his room to convey some type of message? Then this nigga talking about he like to give kids raspberries and all this other shit that you don't want to hear from niggas like him. But the funniest thing of this entire documentary was him actually getting a girlfriend but then dumping her because she wasn't giving him no play. And you wouldn't guess what he did after that, because instead of going to go talk to real woman, he got an AI girlfriend. And of course he made it role play as a 16 and 17-year-old to live out his twisted fantasies. This documentary was genuinely disturbing, and I don't even know if YouTube gonna leave this shit up for another fucking day. But EDP has been living with stage 5 kidney failure for the past 4 years, and with the average life expectancy of 5 years, we might have hope. Because this man needs to be behind bars. From him admitting all this weird shit to him saying he would unalive people if it were legal, this nigga do not need to be on the streets. Hopefully some justice can come out of this because EDP need to be thrown under the jail.
Sitting across from Chris Hansen, his attitude was entirely unbothered. When Hansen read the old messages straight to his face, EDP didn't flinch. He openly admitted on camera with a smile on his face that he knew the girl was 13 and that he went there to get intimate with her. It wasn't a stressful legal interrogation. It was just a man who felt so untouchable by the law that he was proud to say the truth out loud.
Why did you show up that day? Why did you go to that location? What did you think was going to happen?
I showed up to that location that day, trying to, obviously meet up with an underage girl. You know what I mean? And I guess you can say, trying to have sex. I don't know. I mean, whatever.
You trying to have sex with a 13-year-old?
For the most part, yeah. I feel like because they enjoy the innocence and having control of somebody, you know?
Sounds like that's what you wanted to do.
You are sick.
Nobody your age you could have hung out with.
No.
No women your age you could date. You had to pick on a 13-year-old girl.
You're laughing?
Oh, am I wrong?
Crazy.
It's illegal. Had Alex Rosen not botched this, you might be in prison right now.
Thank God he didn't.
Well, you could look at it two ways. Maybe prison is where you belong because of this.
If it was where I belong, I'd be in shackles right now, so.
But I have to tell you something. Had this been me doing an investigation, your EDP445 ass would be in prison now.
This EDP documentary was one big fever dream, I'm not gonna lie. Chris Hansen was there, Chris Chan was there. It was weird. But one key thing that I started to realize is that EDP was damn near bragging about meeting up with this little ass girl. And I was wondering why he was answering the question so nonchalantly, why he was bragging about it, and it made sense. He can't get arrested for it. He can't go to jail. Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck he says or what the fuck he does, he can't go to jail. And he feels as if he got away with it. In his mind, he did nothing wrong. Alex Rosen fucked up the investigation so bad that EDP thinks that he didn't do anything wrong. That's why he's making multiple social media pages. That's why he keeps trying to make a comeback to YouTube. In his mind, since the police couldn't get involved, he feels like he didn't do anything wrong. Alex Rosen, you dumb motherfucker. Oh my God.
The public reaction to EDP's documentary is a mix of deep disgust, shock at his complete lack of remorse, and intense frustration with the internet culture that allowed him to walk free. Viewers are genuinely unsettled by how casual, unbothered, and even proud he appears while smiling and admitting his actions on camera to Chris Hansen. At the same time, the footage has sparked heavy backlash against amateur predator catcher groups. Audience are furious that these creators botched the original 2021 investigation by prioritizing viral clouds over strict legal protocols, ultimately ruining any chance for real police prosecution. While legal experts are calling his decision to self-incriminate on camera a massive mistake, the overall internet consensus has shifted away from viewing the situation as cupcake meme and towards a serious collective demand for real-world accountability.
You can call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. They're trying to normalize this shit. With that EDP documentary coming out, bro, they're trying to normalize this shit. They're trying to get niggas to laugh. Oh, hee hee ha ha, EDP so funny. No, this is a hidden fucking agenda. And I need you sheep to wake up.
And what's even crazy about this whole doc is that there are going to be some sympathizers who still align with EDP, despite the fact you're not going to have any way or means to support him financially. He is exiled, excommunicated expeditiously from every platform you could think of. He is not welcome in any house. He's not even allowed in any greenhouse that you could think of. Hell, he's not even allowed to get within 100 feet of the White House, let alone the president who he's a fan of. He can't make any money. He can't even work, for fuck's sake.
Making a documentary about EDP isn't a bad thing on its own, but when you have this guy popping out like he's a universal threat, it starts to become a problem. Why is he moving like Thanos in the Infinity War test footage? My nigga, you are not Galactus. Who is this guy feeling like? This guy is seriously over here trying to aura farm after trying to get with multiple iPhone 13s. And the thing is, in the trailer, they ask him, why did you try to crack some iPhone 13s? And he says, I mean, the reason why I tried to do it was, pretty clear, pretty evident. No, it is not. We do not know what you're talking about. We do not relate to you. And then he digs himself an even deeper hole, mocking the fans saying, oh my god, he was talking to an iPhone 13. Fuck all that. Nigga, fuck do you mean fuck all that? We are not forgetting this. You are not going off the hook. And then somehow they got him to agree to go behind some prison bars in an actual prison wearing a jumpsuit. And then do clips like screaming into the fucking camera like this nigga's in a fucking movie. How did they get him to agree to any of this shit? I don't think he realizes this is actually worse for his career. Once this documentary drops, he's absolutely cooked. Like, I swear to God, EDP will do just about anything but admit that he's in the wrong. Who is putting this mindset in his head that he's in the right?
EDP avoided jail time because of legal mistakes, and he knows it. By showing no remorse and admitting to everything on camera, he proves that he simply does not care what the world thinks. The case is finally over, and this interview is the final word of who he really is. That's all for today. Let me know your thoughts. Also, watch how Drake warned the music industry and the rappers trying to diss him to be careful because his pen is not dry.